What's going on, guys, and welcome back to Forza Motorsport 6 and another race car build. My vehicle today is the Alfa Romeo P3. This is an interesting car. In this series I always go for the most power I possibly can get into it, with the engine that I stick into it. With this car this is the case, however it's a hell of a lot lighter than any car that's gone so far, weighing only 1,700 pounds. It has 356 horsepower, which means it is quite a bit down on power. However, it is a lot lighter. 374 torque, very similar story there. And the engine is the stock engine. Don't know what the stock engine is, however you couldn't do an engine swap in this car. I believe this is rear wheel drive, not 100% sure. However, we're going to see how this car does around the Top Gear test track. Alright, so here we are with the Alfa Romeo P3 on the Top Gear test track. I have 5 laps to see how quick I can go with this car. The time to beat is a 120.469 set by the BMW M3. Do I think this is going to have a chance of beating that M3? I'm not too sure. I really do not know. Although this car is quite a lot lighter than anything else we've had so far, it also, the power to weight ratio is quite ridiculous, with almost 400 brake horsepower. And it's a car from the 1930s, which could also be a little bit problematic, being such an old car. I mean, this is like 1930s, this is a bloody old car. It could be a bit problematic. Let's get stopped into this corner. Ooh, okay, we need to be on the brakes a little bit more through there. I'm going to say right now, I haven't actually checked, I don't know why I haven't checked. I am going to say though, this is probably rear wheel drive, given how it is driving at this current point in time. Yeah, so do I expect this thing to beat the BMW? I'm gonna say no. Maybe it'll throw up a surprise. I don't really know. However, I don't think it's gonna have too much of a I don't think it's gonna be quick enough, really, to be going up against that BMW. I don't really know what this could beat. I mean, maybe it'll beat the Ford Capri, possibly. I mean, all the cars are fairly close to each other, apart from the Capri, which is the second down on kind of the pack. But yeah, first of all, the gear ratios seem a little bit odd. Seem like quite long gear ratios, kind of from third onwards. I don't know how many gears this has. It has a race transmission in it. Oh, actually, one thing that I couldn't do with this car, which may explain the slight issues I'm having with braking, I couldn't get race brakes on this car. I could only get street brakes. So yeah, that's something to think about. I could only get street brakes, which is interesting. I mean, the requirement for this series is to have race brakes. However, because this car can't have it, well, I simply just can't do that. So I went with the street ones, which was the best ones I could get. Yeah, this third gear, we're not too bad. First, second gear, not too much wheel spin or anything. I mean, it's not the best, however it's manageable. And then in third gear, the gear seems to go on forever. Like, it really does seem to go on forever. I imagine putting the race transmission in this, I would presume it now has, I'd say at least 4 gears. I mean, I don't know how many it has to start with, but that third gear, compared to the first and second gear, is very, very long. Yeah, acceleration in this car, not great. We got a 122.1 at the moment, so we haven't quite beaten the Capri. Maybe we will beat the Capri. I'm not 100% sure. By the way, if you can hear, oh my god, that's a slide. If you can hear my doorbell, that's because it is Halloween night right now, and we have trick-or-treaters coming around. So that's the thing. You probably can't hear it, to be honest, but if you can, that is what it is. We're apparently half a second up on this lap, so if we can keep this going, we should be able to beat that Capri. Maybe, I think we may be a little bit off. I think it's a Commodore in what would be third place at the moment. I think we're a bit off, going to be a bit off that. However, we're not doing too bad. We've made another 2/10 up in that sector. This actually isn't too bad to drive. As you can see, like there, we have a few small oversteer issues at points. However, it's not terrible. The main issue I'm having really is not the handling. The brakes aren't amazing compared to some cars because of those street brakes. However, they're not too bad. I think it's the acceleration that's letting this car down. It just doesn't quite accelerate well. We got a 121.7 and we're all over the place. That means I think we have beaten the Ford Capri with this 121.9. Let's see if we can get any further up. Try braking later into this first corner, get that around nicely, don't drift too wide, and then we go on to the power. Plenty of speed through here. It is not a bad car to drive, I will be honest, for a car made in the 1930s, with more power and less weight than it should originally have. It definitely doesn't do bad for itself. It's not a bad car to drive. I just think the acceleration is hindering it a little bit. We are quite a bit slower on this lap, not quite as good of a run. So unless we can make up a miracle here, I think it's going to be down to the final lap to see if we can get any faster. We're very, very sideways out of that corner there. We have made a little bit of time up, actually, but it's not going to be much, I don't think. But once again, sliding quite a lot. I've just put my foot, or my finger should I say, on the trigger. Don't know if we've made time up through there. No, probably not, because we've just slid through that corner as well. It's not the most composed of cars. It's fairly easy to catch it when it's sliding. However, it does slide quite a lot, and that will be losing us time. Alright, we're going to come onto the final lap here. Let's not get too much wheel spin. Off we go for the final lap. That one was quite a slow lap there with those slides at the end. Let's see if we can do any better. I don't think we can really get too much more out of this, to be honest. I think it's pretty much at its maximum right now. Let's get around here. Not too tidy. We're on the grass for some reason. It's dirtied the lap. However, if it's a decent one, I probably will still keep it if it says it at the end. Not sure if it will or not. However, we're going to keep going. However, I do think, I'm saying however a lot for some reason. Yeah, we're not much down. Not even a tenth of a second down. However, it's not ideal with running over the grass, and it has dirtied the lap. However, we're going to carry on. Big slide. We have a lot of issues with all the cars through that corner there. Just issues getting on the power. We are now on the power. In third gear, there's just no wheel spin at all, because third gear just doesn't have any go about it whatsoever, really. It's not a bad car, this. It's not terrible, it's just not quite quick enough. You know, it could do with being, if it was a little bit more composed, maybe had a little bit more power, I think it would be pretty good. However, it's, as it is, it's not bad, it's just not great. We have actually got it quite smooth through there. Don't know if we're going to be going any quicker though. I don't think we are, because it was a dirty lap, so because I can't see the lap, I'm not going to count it. Because, you know, I physically don't think I can. I will actually have a look. Can I see if, because I think that did go slightly quicker, if I can actually see the lap time? I can't. Okay, so it's going to have to be a 121.779. Yeah, this car's actually quite nice to drive. It's fairly easy to drive. Gets sliding around a little bit, which isn't great. However, it's fairly manageable when it is sliding. Its acceleration just isn't great, and yeah, it just really lacks the power, I suppose. So a 121.779 or whatever it was puts it into, I guess, 4th place out of the 5 cars we've had so far, just in front of the Ford Capri, pretty much behind everything else, the Holden Commodore, the Toyota Sleeker, and the BMW M3. However, it's a fairly good effort beating the Ford Capri by about 0.2 of a second. So anyway, that is it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, please go ahead and like and subscribe. Comment what other cars you would like to see race car builds on in Forza Motorsport 6 in the future, and I'll see you guys in the next video.